How's it going, guys? Welcome to episode 15 of the Caged In podcast. Just want to first of all start off by saying thanks for everyone's amazing words for episode 14. I was wild at heart with Martin Huckster. I had tons of fun recording that episode. And kind of got me and Martin in a little bit of bother with John Cusack. Those who haven't listened to that episode, Martin reveals a story of how he got blocked on Twitter by John Cusack. Go back and listen to it. It's quite an innocuous and I don't know. It's a good little story. It's nothing too bad. I promoted that episode by putting on Twitter just, if you want to hear Martin's story of how he got blocked by John Cusack, then listen to this episode. I thought it'd be a bit of fun. It's kind of funny. It's something that just came up whilst we were recording. And John Cusack actually replied. So I've actually got the tweets here that, let me paint the scene for you. I was literally laying on my sofa watching Catfish, the TV show, as you do. Checked my phone and it had blown up. I had loads of notifications. John Cusack had retweeted my post saying, "Or you can ask me." And loads of people jumped on it, kind of saying, "How fucking dare you guys, get over it, you pieces of shit," type thing. And I just replied saying, "Hey John, I'd love to hear your side of the story. There's no bad blood or anything. It's just a bit of fun. Here's even the exact seconds you can listen to the podcast and see there's nothing bad was said against you." And his reply was, he was probably rude or something, stupid, I don't remember. I can follow them again. I can let you guys know that Martin hasn't been followed by John Cusack since, so he's not a man of his word. And then I got blocked. So the Caged In podcast Twitter page now blocked by John Cusack, and it's a real shame because I'm a massive John Cusack fan. High Fidelity is actually one of my favourite films of all time. I love Grosse Pointe Blank. I've heard loads of good things about Identity. I don't know, yeah, it's a real shame, and I would love to have actually spoken to John Cusack, maybe tried to get an interview about obviously working with Nicolas Cage on both Con Air and Frozen Ground, but it looks like now that is not going to happen because he probably thinks I'm a piece of shit, which I'm not. I can't implore you guys enough to just go back and listen to the episode. I think it's an hour and 40 something minutes in. It's near the end of it, but check it out. Let me guys know what you think about the whole thing. I kind of detailed it on my Twitter. No, not Twitter. On my Instagram page, which is @CagedInPod. And you could probably look on Twitter and see it as well. I can't look at anything that's been said since, because obviously I've been blocked. But it's all part of the fun with this, guys. I never thought that anyone famous or anything like that would even take anything this stupid podcast says seriously. So it's just funny to me. It's I don't know, maybe one day me and John Cusack can be friends and we can talk about our top 5 breakups of all time. I would love that. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know that, you know, what crazy escapades this podcast is getting me into. But today's episode, I am joined by James Hunt, who is a hilarious guy, really fun, really funny, so brought an amazing energy to this one, so you're in for a real treat. James is also the host of the Sorta Ghostly podcast with a friend of ours, Jamie Murphy. They release every Sunday. Yeah, hit them up on the iTunes store and download and subscribe. Rate those guys because they're just really funny. They like go to skeptics nights and stuff like that, and they just explore anything spooky. Yeah, they're the best, spookiest podcast on the South Coast. So get on those guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna like not ramble on anymore. I'm just gonna drop in the rules as well for any of you who haven't listened before. There's 2 rules to like watching these films. Me and James adhered by them, and it is no expectations and no distractions. So those of you who listened before, just feel free to skip forward and get into it. But those of you who haven't, yeah, no expectations. So me and James knew nothing about this film, so we went in blind, and that's pretty much it. We don't read up about it. We don't look at any trailers or anything like that. We just go into it like fresh eyes. And this one, I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I knew nothing about this film because it's got some real fucking treats for the eyes and the ears. And yeah, bloody hell. And no distractions. So both of us turned our phones off. We'd like laptops closed, everything like that. Nothing from the outside world. For that hour and a half, however long the film was, like 2 hours, it was just me, James, Nick Cage, Judge Reinhold, Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld, and a whole host of other characters who seemed to know where everyone was at any time. That was it. And it was fun. This one gets raunchy. This one is, this is an erotic thriller, so it's real fun. I'm going to roll the theme music, then we're going to get into the ridiculous nature of Nicolas Cage. Feels like I've been awake for days, watching films starring Nicolas Cage. Could be shit or it could be fun. Valley Girl, Face Off, An Army of One. Deadpool, Cornell, Lord of War, The Wicker Man, Trespass, and so many more. Know how it starts, I don't know how it ends. The first 10 are solo, then it's me and some friends. No distractions, no expectations. Over the weeks, hear my frustrations. I guess the podcast is about to begin. I'm your host, Petra Plasilivus, and I'm caged in. Right, so today, guys, we're going to be watching Zandalee, and I have a special guest who is James Hunt from the Sorta Ghostly podcast and Murder House Band. Hello, James.
Hello, how's it going? How you doing?
Yeah, good. Have you ever seen this film?
No way.
Are you looking forward to it? Like, do you know anything about it? Or
literally, I spoke to my friend earlier today, and he said he watched it with his mum, and he had a very uncomfortable time. So I can't wait.
Yeah, so that's that. I'm looking forward to it just because of that. And all I've seen of this film is the front cover, and it looks like a kind of like Basic Instincts, like, I don't know, it looks sleazy, it looks dirty.
Oh,
and like,
God.
I've seen a couple of stills of Nicolas Cage. He's got long hair. I think he's got a horrible little goatee as well.
Is it like a white, like, fluffy shirt sort of thing?
No. It's more
sort
like
of open.
He's kind of got like it looks like he works at like a garage or something.
Oh, okay,
like
a bit of grease on him.
Bit of grease on him, like those old, like the shirts like at a gas station where it has like their name badge on it and stuff like that. Yeah,
nice.
Like slightly open, then a white t-shirt underneath, a bit of oil stains or something like that. So
something for the mums, classic mums.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be. Like, I'm hoping. One thing I'm hoping is we don't see any Cage dick. Like, I feel like.
Is there a film with Cage dick in it?
I'm not sure. Like, I probably will find out, and like, I will catch a still of it and like blast it on the internet and get it removed from social media. Probably get banned. Like,
Exciting.
Or just Photoshop my face on the end of it. Because that will be horrifying. Well, as always, we're going to put our feet up, turn our phones off, and get raging with Cage. Right, so where do we fucking start with this? Let's get the notebooks open.
Oh, yeah. Well, it started with a very long, classy intro, where it was just black and in white really like nice like italic fonts with just this really surreal. I don't know whether it was the sound quality for what we were watching, because I realised later when it rained it sounded insane, but like the music sounded crazy at the beginning.
Well, I think the music, yeah, that's something like we really need to talk about in this film. The music is like 1 minute it's like horror film.
Yeah.
The next minute, I don't know, it's like weird jazz.
Really lovely simps every now and again as well. Really, I was like, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Like, I wrote classy long intro. Then I was like, director definitely just wrote the music because it went on for so long.
It's always like that old school like intro, like where it had all the credits
Yeah.
up front. Like it's like.
This is everyone. This is the person who arranged the filming. This is the person who arranged costume. When I'm like, we get it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of like it has like a tracking shot, doesn't it, of like the city streets of like. It's not probably until about half hour in you actually realise where the fuck it is.
Because I saw skyscrapers and I was like, New York.
Yeah. The exact same.
Because I like. Don't like go 9/11 straight away, but I saw the two towers and did the classic things like, oh, there they are, like before everything. And but no, it wasn't even in New York. Like for so long, I thought it was in New York.
And it's literally within like the first 2 minutes, you've got fucking tits, you've got bush, like.
Well, to set it up though, like it started off with like the streets. There was like a drug deal.
Yeah. You see, like, there's a couple of times early on you see two guys. Like, I thought then I was like, it's fucking Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
like,
but it was just the back of his head, and I was like, is that a stunt double? Because his hair was like, oh no, he was wearing extensions the whole time.
And then it kind of tracks up to a balcony. You see a woman, and then
she looks a bit like. I thought she looked a bit weathered and a bit. she looked. She was. It's the same actress from the entire film. It's her, isn't it?
Yeah, Zandalee. Yeah.
That's her name. Zandalee.
The title. Yeah, the titular character.
Is that the name of the film?
Yeah.
For like half of it, I was like, can't even remember the name of the film right now.
There was so many we'll get onto it, but there's so many characters. One, I either didn't know who they were or like their name,
a few of them,
or like what their relation was to other characters. So you have her like on the balcony kind of tending to the plants.
Watering the flowers and stuff.
Then you're introduced to Terry.
Terry. It's just Terry, but it's got like a nice, lovely French spin to it.
Yeah. I think
Terry with an I reckon.
I just kept thinking whenever they said his name, Jean. Is it? Who's the guy, Arsenal player? Like, Jean Terry?
You're asking the wrong... Jean Terry, yeah. I know him. He's on telly.
Exactly, yeah. We grew up in the 90s, of course we know. Who's played by Judge Reinhold, who is... I don't know what the fuck he was doing with his voice. Like,
he had a lovely moustache, and his accent went... everywhere. It went like really posh English guy to, I guess, like New Orleans sort of accent.
It was like kind of Cajun, like.
Yeah. And then
he spoke in fucking riddles and rhyme and just made no fucking sense.
And then we later on found out that he once wrote a book of poetry. So it's kind of like, okay, this kind of makes sense. But at first I was like, I remember turning to you and was like, I have no idea what you're saying this entire time.
It's that thing though, like, I don't know. We get it, you used to be a poet, but just fucking knock it. I just kept being knock it on the fucking head.
I feel like I was thinking too much into it, like, because I wasn't escaping to my phone or anything, I was like, yeah, but it totally makes sense that he's like this. And I guess when we carry on talking about where his story leads, then I can dwell more into that, like, metaphor about it.
Yeah, like, it's nuts. He's shaving. She's like...
he's just talking, like, reading out poetry to himself while shaving.
And, like, cuts himself. Like, fucking too right. You deserve it. Just fucking shut
Snap
up.
Out of
it. Get to it. And, like, whilst he's doing that, you have in the other room, like, for no fucking reason, you have Zandalee just stripped down naked, dancing around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just with but like spinning her like coat around herself.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like a shawl, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like
but like making sure you can see everything in the middle of it.
she's doing like some kind of like Stevie Nicks-esque
Yeah.
spinning around. I kept waiting any moment for like Edge of 17 to come in or something. Yeah, so she's dancing around naked. I've got down in my notes, like, what is his voice? Like, genuinely, like...
Yeah, I was just looking at mine and she said that and I said, I've written none of the dialogue is going in. Like, it literally just wasn't going into my brain.
And then, yeah, you see, like, again, I saw someone, I thought, oh, is that Nicolas Cage? No, it was Steve Buscemi as a bin man. And he said, like... He's on the street, and does he sees Zandalee, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he says, nothing's as good as they say it is. Like, just kind of spouts
Just a common
this-
man spilling out poetry, just making common sense, you know?
And, like, he, like, rides off on the back of the bin truck into
Which
the...
sounded insane. It literally... It must have been the way... Why, like, how we were watching it, but the truck just sounded like a hurricane. It sounded like... so crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the sound design in this was fucking all over the place,
Yeah, it was
or
crazy.
like the dodgy copy we watched. But then we get a nightclub, like a strip club.
The stag do! Like,
Yeah.
it just comes out of nowhere and then it doesn't make sense in time. Like,
And there's like they're like licking cream off of strippers' tits.
yeah,
and they're
like, I wrote in my notes, whipped cream just got big. It's like they just invented it. It's like, wow, did you know you can put this on naked bodies and it's sexy? It's like it's only just come into, like, real life.
I'm not sure if you like. I kind of saw.
And everyone had fezzes on.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the significance of that. Nobody looked Moroccan or
Stag do classic, just dress up, you know.
But they were all like proper squares apart from the fezzes. They were like suited and booted. I thought at the start he was just going to like a business meeting.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell, that like, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning as well. That's what I don't get.
But also, like, setting this up, the only bit of dialogue before the stag do when he was talking to Zandalee.
Zandalee, yeah.
Yeah, he was just like saying that he's going to meet an old friend who he hasn't seen in a long time, and that was like the setup. So I was like, okay, but then he was at a stag do.
Yeah, but there's a lot of that throughout this film. There is like no setup for stuff that happens. Like and yeah, Cage walks in. I'm not sure if you saw this, James, but his entrance, he kind of stood in like he was like silhouetted in a doorway,
yeah.
shook his head around.
Sexy artist.
Yeah, and like kind of came in like the life and soul of the fucking party. Like it's like straight away everyone's like, it's Johnny Collins. Like I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like there has been no mention of this guy. There has been no build up, and he is the life and soul of the party.
But I thought he was going to meet up with his, like, sister or something. And then he went to a stag do and it was like, oh, he's meeting Nicolas Cage. Okay.
Yeah. Who, like, literally comes straight in, grabs a can of cream. The nearest stripper just pulls her over. Like, I think it was, like, all over her body. To which point, Terry says... He's always had a sweet tooth.
Oh, that was disgusting. I like to think of this party where, like, okay, so what are we going to do for the stag do? Okay, we need the fezzes, we need strippers, and we need whipped cream. That's it. That's all we need.
I'm not sure if the club might have provided it.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
it's like,
It's the package.
Let's go to the club with the fezzes, the strippers, and the whipped cream. It's my favourite. He loves going there. Johnny's got a sweet tooth, he'll love it.
Yeah. Who is unfezzed. I'm not sure if that is like them trying to say something like he's a dangerous lone wolf. Like he's a renegade.
He won't wear that fez.
No. You can't fez him down.
Don't even try and put him on it. He's there for the strippers and the whipped cream.
I know it kind of just cuts to Terry taking Johnny back to his like family home, and
is it his family home though?
Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, like there's an old lady there who like even now, we've literally probably 15 minutes ago stopped watching this film. I am not sure if it's his mum or his grandma. Like, it is not made clear in the slightest at all.
I think it might hint at being his mum later on in the movie, but we'll get to that, I guess.
Yeah, but
without
like,
giving away
yeah,
too
at the
much.
same time, like, yeah, when we get to that, yeah, there's something I've like kind of, it's fucking bugging me that
Yeah.
when I like, but like straight away he just like, he seems like a massive creep, like.
Who, Johnny or Terry?
Yeah, Johnny.
I think they're both fucking
yeah. Like,
Like, it's really hard to figure out who's the good guy in this film.
yeah, definitely. Well, it's like when Johnny walks into the, like, startles Zandalee, catches the peppermill under his foot, and
Do you remember that? What?
yeah, she drops the peppermill because she's so startled.
Oh, yeah.
And he, like, kind of catches it under his foot. He's like, so are you the wife?
Such a creep.
And he's like he's in the house, like doesn't even like, like he's just so obnoxious. He's like just lights up a cigarette.
But he's brought back as an old friend.
Yeah, and like
And
that.
everyone knows him except Zandalee. But
Yeah, she seems weary. She's like
I think she's the only good character in this.
same person.
Yeah.
But then there's a couple of things she does that aren't that savoury. Like I'd like. Johnny's looking at the picture of the old bearded man.
I wrote this down as well. I'll let you say it.
No, let me say it, man. What did he say?
He's like impressive looking man. But I think that's his dad. Not Johnny's dad. Terry's dad.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's his dad or like some relative. Like,
He looks like he just looks like an old gentleman with glasses, and it's in black and white.
yeah. Well, it looks like one of those like kind of turn of the century.
Yeah,
like late 1800s.
Default stock
Yeah.
photo picture of gentleman.
Yeah. Like it looks like sepia. It looks old as fuck.
Like the saved photo on a laptop would say "impressive man."
And then they kind of like have a like heart to heart about like Terry's family, and he's asking about like Johnny's asking about his dad, and he says like, "Oh, my dad died," and he's real cut up about it, and he's kind of like, yeah, and then you kind of find out that Johnny's a bit of like a tortured artist,
Yeah.
like, yeah, and he says if I can't paint every day, it turns to like everything turns to shit.
Yeah, I tried to write that, but I ran out of time because there's so much other shit that he said.
Yeah, what's that? He's like talking about art, and he says like
Money is an excuse for the lack of art. Without art, you are in the devil's asshole. Like, what the fuck?
and he name checks Donald. He's like, it doesn't matter who you are, you could be Donald Trump. Which,
Yeah!
like obviously, like this is from
I
1991.
hate how it's still relevant.
yeah.
It just pops up everywhere.
Yeah, fucking ruined Home Alone 2, ruined Zandalee.
Wrestling.
Now he's ruined 2017.
I was literally watching a 2015 WrestleMania, and he just pops up, and he's in Hall of Fame like 2 years ago. It's like, what the fuck?
And now he is like a superpower in the world. Let's just have a moment, guys, to think about the world we are living in.
It's like in 5 years' time, it's gonna be Terminator 2 all over again.
Any American listeners, shame on you.
I'm also very sorry.
Yeah, he's like just vulgar about women as well. Like, he says something about a snatch. Oh, he's saying about painting women and says like, it's really off-putting with their red snatch in your face. Like,
I thought that was really savage because he's talking about being a tortured soul and being
Yeah,
an
yeah,
artist,
yeah.
but then he's like, "Oh no, I just paint just to fuck." Like, it's like you're just using painting to get girls.
and then he offers to paint Terry. He's
Out of
like,
nowhere.
Yeah. Well, I thought I wrote in my notes he offered to paint Zandalee and then I was like thinking that's way off the mark. Like he's literally been going. Even so, he's
I think the
offering-
film would have been finished a lot quicker if he did that.
yeah. Get out. Get out.
Want to paint your wife naked?
Yeah. Johnny leaves. he's just a fucking creep. And you find out that he works for Terry as well, doesn't he?
But
Like,
I think he just got the job.
yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. There's like a line in it where he says like he's been working under me a year or something.
Oh, really?
There's no.
I
Like,
had
have
the impression that he just got
landed
the
the
job.
job. There's a lot of unanswered questions in this. Let's be
But
honest.
also, we find out that that Terry also writes poetry. 'Cause this is when I got a bit deep, and I wrote just two artists facing reality. It's like he's got to work for. He's got to like run his dead dad's company, and then Johnny's like an artist, but has to work for Terry.
yeah.
Fighting the man.
Then we kind of get the next day. We got Zandalee running, like, and then she's. Well, I thought she was running errands, but it turns out she works in like a dressmaker's shop, and the actor's name he's in The Matrix,
And he's also in
Memento?
Memento, yeah.
yeah. Is it like Joe Pantalon or something? I don't
Can't
think.
remember. What was it?
Is he the actual murderer of Memento?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't spoiler alert?
Yeah. If you haven't seen Memento.
Is it Guy Pearce in it?
Yeah,
isn't
Guy
he
Pearce.
Isn't he the murderer?
Yeah, and he's the
Ted.
guy.
He's Ted, basically.
Yeah. And he's the guy he's created.
Yeah.
So that guy, anyway, he's he plays some flamboyant gay guy in a dress, and has a brilliant line in this scene where he's like, Zandalee, are you gonna cut, like, you pretty much come over a jacket with pearl buttons?
He was my favourite character.
Yeah,
to be honest.
definitely. He kind of says like, you need a bit more excitement in your life. You need to come on like a night out with me, and then we like it barrels on to
A nightclub, right?
no, it's the painting. It's
Oh,
yeah. Johnny is painting Terry. He's
it's terrible.
like when Zandalee comes in, you just see Johnny stare at her as well. Like, it's just like made my skin crawl. And like I've written in my notes here that the painting looks like shit. Like
I've written Space Invader music whilst he's painting, because I feel like the music was insane then. But I also think that was the quality again, making everything sound a bit more crazier than it should.
yeah, Johnny leaves, and then you kind of have Terry with his arms around Zandalee, and she just says, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be super profound. It says, your arms are around me, but you're so far away.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. It was my favourite thing ever. I think, were they naked whilst that was happening as well? The
No,
hug?
not yet. I don't think so. And this is when you find out he used to be a poet.
Oh,
and, like,
shit, sorry.
no worries. And like, he just seems like super hung up about his
his
like.
own books on the bed.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
apparently it was so long ago, but every now and again he still gets it out. So, what this old thing? Oh, yeah, just reading through the pictures, and it's just a pic. We only know it's his book of poetry because on the back it's just a massive picture of him.
The classic like author's photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you kind of get a glimpse into how him and Zandalee might have met, because she says like how he used to be a professor, and like they used to go to the like dressmaking shop, close up for the day, and get down to it basically.
Yeah.
And it seems like their marriage has gone stale, and like he's focused so much on like running his dad's business that he doesn't really give much time to her, and like the spark's gone. It's not there. Like
I guess she was meant to seem a bit more troubled than she was portrayed.
yeah, and like he like
Considering like he was a professor, she worked at a clothes shop. But they just banged and stuff. I don't
well,
know.
it's like the kind of thing like I don't know. It's like he's like a sellout. Like
Yeah.
and like she was kind of fell in love with. It kind of reminded me of The Wedding Singer. Have you like you said?
I haven't seen The Wedding. I've seen a lot of other bad Adam Sandler films, but I still haven't seen The Wedding
The
Singer.
Wedding Singer's actually like
Yeah.
a half decent one, but like there's a moment in that where like his like Adam Sandler's supposed to be wife says like I fell in love with a guy who was like the lead singer of a cool band, and like I didn't fall in love with a wedding singer.
Yeah.
Like, you used to kind of wear spandex and be like David Lee Roth. Like, I kind of feel like that is what, like, she saw. She kind of saw this, like, J.D. Salinger,
Twisted
like,
artist.
tortured soul.
Yeah.
And, like, now she's got some, like, office pencil-pushing stooge, like...
A job that we still don't know what he did.
Yeah, even is. Like, you kind of see at one point, like, it's kind of cut off by some books in his office, but it says Southern Co.
I've written it down somewhere.
Yeah, it's like Southern Com, and I thought...
That's it, that's all it says.
But I thought it was like, I thought he worked for, like, Southern Comfort. Or, like, they had filmed it in, like, a Southern Comfort office.
In my head, I was like, it's a sexy film, maybe it's just meant to sound like cum.
Then we get, like, just...
But also, he has a work voice. Oh no, we're not...
Oh, no, there's just this weird standalone scene of
Yeah.
Zandalee in a church.
Oh yeah!
And, like, this kind of seems to be, like... This is one of those things in the film that kind of is
A lot of
brought
religious
up,
stuff.
but, like,
Not
doesn't
explained.
go anywhere, not explained in the slightest.
Like, it could be anywhere, like, she could just keep going to the supermarket. And she's
Yeah,
like, she keeps going to the supermarket.
Or, like, the George Costanza, just go by the pier and
Yeah,
look
yeah,
out,
yeah,
into,
yeah.
the,
It's
look
just
out into
like-
the sea. Like,
Oh no, she's just having a thinking moment now.
Yeah.
She's just sat in a pew, not really doing, not praying. She's just
no,
staring there.
yeah. And, like, literally nothing happens. And then we get Terry at work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and then, like, it's kind of... He's got some guy busting his balls about something. It's not really, like... I don't know. Again, it's not really... There's no tension set up in that. It's
Said
like
something
kind of,
about his dad being dead again, so you just reminded.
yeah, it's like they're fucking jabbing you, like, with that. Just like, his dad's dead. Like, feel sorry for him. It's
But
like...
he
I
does.
don't.
Terry does like a speech about like how his dad like started a radio company,
And then an empire. Yeah.
but he works at a factory.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
There's like a hard hat in the background and stuff. It was so like. It was.
I've just
really
got in my notes
confusing.
here, what does he do? Like,
Yeah,
genuinely.
I've read that a few times now.
God, no, like, what were people doing in, like, the late 80s and 90s in films? They're just, like, nondescript jobs, like, fuck's sake.
But as I said earlier, he talks in a different voice when he talks to his like work colleague. He has like a more like stern, like hard man like voice.
Yeah, he leaves the flamboyant, like, poet, like, and now we're gonna... Like, that voice, like...
But like, this is where like I feel like I've got too sucked into this movie where I'm like, yeah, I totally understand it because he's like trying to live this other life.
He doesn't want to be the, like, corporate
Yeah, but
stooge.
he's trying, you know.
He does, he doesn't want to let his dad down. I kind of get, I don't know, yeah. Then we get Zandalee in what I can only describe as, like, a sex club. It's got like booming music.
Yeah.
It's got like some weird, like, hairy guy, like, humping some lady on stage.
Yeah.
She's there with our man from Mr. Memento.
Yeah.
And then out, like, they really let you know it's a sex club as well, because it's just like, I don't know, gratuitous close-ups of, like, ladies' breasts.
Yeah.
And, like,
just people dry humping in
Yeah.
corners and stuff.
and then out of nowhere, she just kind of, like, I don't know, grabs some real, like, haggard-looking, like, gruff guy. Kind of looks like, Crater Face from Greece. Have you ever seen, like that, like, yeah, real ugly, gnarly looking guy just smooches him out of nowhere. Like, I don't, up until this point, I'm not sure, like, I didn't feel like their marriage was that bad.
No.
Like,
There was no
no, like,
it gets to it, but like I
There's
feel
no
like
blow-up.
there wasn't a hint at all at that
No,
how
no.
everything was going.
no, it kind of, like, I expected, like, I don't know, maybe, like, I expect a lot more from my films now. Yeah, like, I fucking do, like.
I need hooks, I need little hints.
Well, no, you kind of need, like, you would kind of expect it if they'd had, like, more of an argument, or, like...
I don't know whether like I feel like if I wasn't writing down every second of this film, I would have a fucking clue what was going on. Because
Oh,
it was
definitely.
it was developing very slowly, but like simple things like, who the fuck is this guy? Okay, find out 20 minutes later. Who the fuck is this woman? Oh, fucking found out fucking 50 minutes into the film. Like, if I wasn't taking notes, then I wouldn't be like, I'd just be like, what am I actually watching?
Yeah. I would love to think that somewhere on a cutting room floor in like LA there is like a masterpiece that is Zandalee.
Yeah.
We just happen to get something like that. I don't know if it's like a 3-hour sprawling epic that's just like
they just ruined the film, you know.
And she comes home fucking battered
And horny.
and horny. Yeah, she wakes up Terry. She like, there's a like light moment of relief where she gets her dress caught on her head, but I'm not sure if that was like
The director made her do it so she.
definitely, yeah, a bit
longer.
more like tit shot, like. And I'm not sure, like, I gotta write down in my notes, like, Judge Reinhold, who plays Terry, is like, his name popped up. It was like a Reinhold production, and he was like a producer. And I was like, has he kind
Just
of
written himself in a sexy role.
Yeah. Like,
I kind of, because like, also whilst watching this film, it's like, who is this film for? Like, is this for my mum? Like in the early like 90s, like the sort of like rom-com-esque, like for like what you like stereotypical like stereotypes. Sorry, sort of rom-coms for.
Yeah.
Like, this film's for the ladies, but it just seemed to be just constant boobs. There was no sort of like men or anything going on.
Yeah, so she wakes him up and like kind of like says like, let's get to it, basically. It's like say my like get like she's like say my name, like really like pushes
She
on
loves
him.
names.
Yeah, she loves like to have to call someone's name. Like she's very much like a submissive in this. This is like, I don't know, it's like some kind of proto 50 Shades of Grey. Or
Yeah, that's
something
all I think I wrote that somewhere in this book.
And literally within seconds of them like kind of getting into it, she's like straight over onto all fours. I thought, okay, like bit of doggy style.
Yeah.
Like, no, not at all. He's kind of turned off straight away.
So
'cause-
no.
She wanted a bit more of like I don't know how to put this politely. She wanted a bit of
In the butt.
yeah, a bit of bum fun.
Yeah.
And he kind of sulks in the corner for a moment, is like, to which she is then
What did
crying.
she say though? She says like she wants to like she says like exploring or something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
She wants to like go exploring.
I thought we could be adventurers.
Adventurous,
or something.
that's it, yeah.
We could be adventurers. Something like,
Yeah.
And she starts to cry and then starts to masturbate, which makes for a real weird moment.
It was fun watching that. two guys just
26-year-old
watching that on the big screen.
A lot of pillows on laps at that moment.
Especially just writing, my notes goes from angry doggy equal, because I just kept writing it. It's like angry doggy, and then I wrote equals anal equals starts crying equals dramatic equals cry wank.
And then, like, as if to break the tension, there's just a lizard on the floor.
Oh yeah. Just like, how are we gonna distract?
From the cry wank.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a lizard on the floor. Like, it's come out of nowhere. And, like, a lot of stuff in this film just comes out of nowhere. And then we get Zandalee the next day again, running.
Oh no! You missed a massive bit.
Oh.
When he just kept saying he wanted to be a paraplegic. And then he's like, I'm a paraplegic, with like, but using it as a metaphor, saying like his soul was twisted, he might be a paraplegic. And then she just says, I wish you were a paraplegic. Like,
Ultimate burn.
it was fucking ridiculous. It was so like, Oh, I'm gonna write this down, but that was fucking horrible.
Yeah, and then like you get her running the next day, and it's real weird because she kind of like sees a train coming and like makes a point of like getting in front. I'm not sure if she was like just real competitive, like with just anything, like fuck it, I'm gonna outrun this train, or she's kind of got like a weird.
I think she's got a death wish.
Yeah, I think she was like thinking, if it hits me, I don't have to listen to fucking like,
Fucking poetry, man.
yeah, occasion. And then once on the Mortimer, I like, just fuck off. And as she's walking home, she sees well, now you find out that like, this is like, we had this whole speech about like the radio empire, the broadcasting empire.
Yeah.
And obviously you know that Johnny works for Terry, and yeah, he's a construction worker.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
And at the same time, you have Steve Buscemi again running down the street with a TV,
Yeah.
being chased by the
But
police.
he's got, like, it's a... Are they trying to just say that, like, being a garbage man's just, like, you gotta do other things on the side?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but like, on their
Unless he just wasn't a garbage man and just was like, that was his getaway. Like, he'd just done, like, a job before.
yeah, it's like, that was like, really weird, but then Johnny just outweirds it with some kind of... He's got, I'm not sure if it is a tattoo or he's drawn it on.
No, because he has it on later, unless he doesn't shower. Because I was like, oh, he's just drawn it on.
Yeah, it's like the smallest, like I'm talking, I don't know, like a bottle cap sized tattoo of a black rose. And, like, have you written down what he says?
He says something like Black Rose Fate. Or something like Fate of a Black Rose, and then he just tenses his arm in front of her.
And he says, like, do you want one? Pulls out a Sharpie out of his pocket.
Yeah, that's what made me think that it was just a fucking shit drawing on his arm. But I think it was meant to be a tattoo.
And then, like, tries to draw on her. She's kind of, like, rightly so, is like, oh, no, I'm getting out of here. And then, like, I don't know, we get another one of those kind of, like, jump cuts to later, because Johnny's all of a sudden, it's like that night, Johnny's in the apartment and he's showing them like the painting.
Oh yeah, and it's blue. This is a blue man.
And it's shit. Like even like the characters.
You barely see it though. Either like considering it's like from this point, that's like the only like story arc going. Is like he's painting a picture of his mate, and then he does it, and he's just so cocky. Like, do you think it's good? Do you think it's good?
But like, I got the vibe from everyone that they were kind of like, oh, like I really want to tell him it's shit.
I swear it looked like he was wearing a crown of thorns on his head. I swear it looked like he was wearing it. There was something going around his forehead.
Yeah, and like he's just like he shows her the painting. It just starts shot in booze as well, doesn't he? And
Tequila, everyone loves tequila in this movie.
And like Terry takes the painting into like the bedroom, like because obviously he doesn't want to hang it in the lounge because it's fucking hideous. Like we'll put it in the bedroom, which like your sex life is terrible as it is.
Yeah.
Don't be hanging that fucking god awful.
Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Just like, because he seemed really not into having sex with her anymore. He's like, what if I just put this horrible painting with me and she just fuck off?
Or maybe there's like, maybe there's something, this just come to me. Maybe there's like an underlying, like kind of, like it is New Orleans after all. There's like a weird voodoo subplot that we missed out on. Like kind of Johnny is some weird like voodoo priest, and it's like put a hex on the painting to like put it in the house, and it's gonna like send out some bad juju.
If someone asked me about this before listening to the podcast, I'd be like, yeah, Nicolas Cage paints a painting and then shit goes crazy.
Well, like yeah, because. As I was setting up, like he takes the painting into the bedroom, which is like what, not even 5 meters away, like open doors, and then Johnny just fucking plants one on Zandalee, like let's talk about for a moment just like Johnny, like Nicolas Cage's look in this film, like I don't know, like he's got
mustache goatee thing.
Yeah, he's got like a fucking hot, like little mustache and like a little soul patch.
Yeah.
And then like he's got this kind of horrible, long, wiry hair. Like,
It's like the worst like hair extensions because it's just always poking out. It's like
I think that's actually his hair.
Really?
I just think it's so thin and so dead. Like you can see at this point, like.
But I've seen like.
I don't know how he's kept on to his hair for so long, because in this he looks like he's pretty much bald.
Yeah, because there's a point where you see like patches and stuff.
Yeah,
like, that's why I just thought it might have been like short and then extensions, because it just looks so bad and like it just naturally doesn't sit anywhere. It's just always sticking out. It looks like he's been wearing a hat all the fucking time, but you never see him in a hat in the movie.
Then we get the next day, and Terry is in a meeting. Again, not really explained. It's kind of like some big.
It
weird,
starts in
like...
slow motion, I swear. They're drinking glasses of wine, and it's like it looks like something from like Mulholland Drive or something. They're just really slowly sipping down this drink, and then it just goes normal again.
Yeah, and the guy's I think he's trying to get them to sell the company, and like says like, come hunting with me. I'll kind of schmooze you, and we'll get like, I'll get your company like. But again, that is a plot thread that is kind of
nothing explained.
Picked up, and then
because he just keeps saying how Terry's the vice president. And like his dad died, who owns the company.
Yeah, he must be
like
the president.
surely he's like just owns it.
Yeah, and then yeah, it's like, but the plot thread is kind of picked up and then like never mentioned again. Like,
yeah,
I kind of.
It's just like nothing. It's like okay, so everything's shit. Everyone's trying to like be an artist, but everything's a bit shit. No one really wants to do what they do, but everyone's really horny. I feel like that's like the entire film.
that was the pitch.
Yeah, it's like everything's a bit shit, but people have sex a few times.
And like you get Zandalee kind of like moodily walking in the rain.
Yeah,
as well.
Rain is sexy in the 90s. It was so like I swear, like when I was a kid, just constantly just seeing just people just in the rain. I feel like I don't see that much anymore.
And she pretty much gets mugged by a hobo for her umbrella as well.
Yeah.
Like
she's really polite, and he's just like, isn't he just like thank you or something like that?
He kind of just takes it and walks off like it's no big deal. Like, yeah, thanks for the umbrella. And like, who's there to fucking help out? Like, not even help out, just be there. Like a massive fucking creep, Johnny.
Yeah.
Like, he gets out of a cab or a car. And
Yeah,
just
but
like...
I think we've seen that road a few times in the film, and I think that's where his house is.
His house?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
his like fucking fucked up art studio house.
And he kind of like comes up to her and just comes on real strong and says, I want to shake you naked and eat you alive.
It's disgusting.
I'm not sure what that means. Like, I don't know. Like,
it definitely means what you think. I think it's just like, just in black and white. That's what it means. It's like there's so many like innuendos.
Oh
in this
yeah,
film.
definitely. Then kind of like.
That's why I got to the point where I was like, maybe come in the company name, just then come, like.
Like he like pushes her up against this like gate, like into like a secluded area.
The worst, mate. Like it made like I'm into sexy things, but like the idea of just that scene where she drops her knickers just grossed me out so much. I was like, oh god, this is a bit too much for me.
Yeah, and then like they kiss, and then cut to his fucking like warehouse studio, and they are fucking going at it. Like,
all I could think of was like, how is he affording this like fucking building? It's fucking massive.
Yeah. It is like, I don't know. It's like probably double the size of my flat.
He works for his mate's company. Like, he's not doing too well.
We seen him not even 5 minutes ago, like with a pneumatic drill in the street.
Yeah, like he can't afford this.
He is not balling whatsoever. And then it probably came to like my favourite moment of the film. Not for like, I don't know. It just made me laugh so much.
Oh, I know.
He dips his finger in paint and then just kind of like draws down her body and is kind of just like trying to look sexy,
teasing that it's gonna go somewhere where you know it's gonna go.
Yeah. And you hear this voicemail as well, and they're kind of like in the Frozen thing. It says like, "Bring cash, I've got what you want." And like, this is a thing. Like, this happens throughout the film.
It might, again, not kind of getting very caged in right now. But like, I'm like, bits like that are making me like, I kind of think this film's a bit good. Like, I'm like, I kind of get it. Like, we'll get to it, but I'm like, I kind of like that little bit.
Yeah, and she returns home, and like by this point as well, she has been gone for God knows how long, and it's like, no, like I've written down like, how does no one suspect her in any way? Like, I don't know, like she's probably come home, she's knackered, like, and she has a chat with the mum or the grandma, like,
who just seems to know straight away.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not sure she knows. Yeah, she kind of like lets on like, yeah, maybe I know, but like she says like, oh, someone's just moved to town. Who like I'm like, yeah, who I used to live near, and it's already been established that like Johnny used to live near them because like was a family friend, and I just like both me and James looked at each other and were like, does she mean? No, she can't mean like. Does this old lady want to fuck Johnny?
But I'm
like...
still questioning. Were we meant to think that? Was that like the idea of the movie? Was it like was it meant to be like, we're going to trick the viewers into thinking this old lady's fucking Johnny as well? Because that's I don't know. That's kind of the film I felt like I was going to watch. Like, okay, so he's just fucking everyone.
He's just like comes into town, seduces everyone. Like, I don't know, like some weird Visitor Q style, like odd, like way. And then we get Johnny in a bar.
Oh my god.
His opening line to the scene is, "Father, pick a card." And like, he's not talking to his dad. He's talking to a priest.
Who knew his name?
Yeah. Obviously, they must be regulars in that bar. But like, yeah, he starts pulling magic tricks. And that like kind of brings us on to like the way he dresses.
He looked like like straight away, like I don't want to give it away, but earlier, like, he looked like a fucking magician.
Yeah.
He had this little mustache and like the clothes that he... Like, annoyingly dresses a bit like me, like a black t-shirt tucked it, like, he just wears all black, wears a black shirt and stuff, and the mustache and his shit hair, he just looked like a magician.
It's that kind of thing, though. It's like shirts that are way too big, like tucked in with the overhang, kind of like a puffy shirt. Like, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of the Spanish guy in The Princess Bride. Inigo Montoya. Like, it kind of like, I don't know, he kind of had like a swashbuckling, like, he looked like a pirate. Like,
someone said I looked like him once. So.
Amazing. And then like out of nowhere, like it seems in this film that everybody seems to know where everybody is at any time.
It seems like.
It's happening in
Orleans isn't that small, right? It can't be that small. But there's only like, they go to the set, there's like, should we just say it now? It feels really like The Room.
Definitely.
And I think it's because of like, they just go to the same sort of like scenes and venues and places.
Where
you
same
just
locations.
kind of, like you don't know where the fuck they are, but you're like, oh, okay, I've seen, it's a bit familiar now because we've been here like 4 times.
Yeah, and like that is something like to say about Nicolas Cage's look.
Yeah.
And the way he is kind of like Johnny. From The Room, like Tommy Wiseau's character.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. Like,
just like twisted soul, but he looks like a prick.
Yeah. I would love to know. I think maybe later we will actually like. Yeah, a bit later we will see if like there is some comparisons between these films.
I really want to see if that is a thing.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah, Terry just turns up out of nowhere, like, to invite Johnny to a dinner.
Oh, sorry, I read... No, just looking at my notes, just foresight. I read, does everyone fucking know everyone?
It's that thing, like, everybody seems to know everyone. Yeah, he invites... This is like another moment as well where I thought they were like, after the last scene where it's like, oh, it's the mum is the grandma like into Johnny, and then he invites him to a party. It's like, oh, my like mum or grandma.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know who it is. Oh, like.
I just thought he knew.
Yeah. She's having like her boyfriend over, and I thought it was kind of then gonna go into like some weird caper. Like Johnny's gonna be like, whack whack whack. like he's like, oh no.
Well, like Zach Morris, like invited too many dates to the party.
Yeah. Like he's like, oh no, I'm trying to like I've shagged Zandalee. Like I'm also shagging the grandma. Like this ain't gonna work out well. Like
imagine if that was the film where like only just then we realised that everyone else knew except us that he was going out of the nan. Like that was the movie.
Turned into a real caper. Like him just trying to like date two women at once. Like he's getting like, I don't know, real slapstick comedy. He's getting felt up like on one leg by one woman and one on the other. That is the film. I don't know. I kind of feel like now I would have rather have seen. But at the dinner party, he has got a date with him. It was played by Marissa Tomei.
She's in The Office.
Oh, the American one,
Yeah.
She plays Aunt May in the new Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Freaking hell.
Yeah. She's like, and she's in Seinfeld as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, George Costanza. She plays herself. He tries to go on a date with her.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Sorry for spoil that one.
No, I've seen it. I just forgot.
And yeah, he's like. There's like a real crap joke 'cause her name's Reme.
Yeah.
Like nobody can pronounce their name like how it's spelled. Like, 'cause I was like, oh, is it Remy? She's like,
yeah, Remy.
Yeah. And like, no. She's like, no, it's Reme. And then it's like, oh, Johnny makes a real crap joke. He's like, like, Terry, you married the wrong woman. Because if you would have married Reme, like, her name would have been Reme Martin. Which like,
it really went over my head.
Well, I think it's a joke to do with like the drink, Remy Martin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like James's reaction is the reaction it deserves. It's a fucking crap joke. But all the time throughout this dinner party, Johnny has got his hand on like not even just like lightly touching, he's grasping hold of Zandalee's leg, and like it's blatant as well. Like. He gets stabbed in the hand with a fork and kind of like brings it up from under the table, like shaking it, like might as well have gone, oh, shouldn't have touched your leg. And like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Does that happen in movies anymore? Because I remember that happening all the time. God, I can't believe she touched my leg. Or they're like something a bit more.
Or the classic, like I don't know, like footsie, and it's the wrong
person.
Yeah,
wrong person. Yeah.
That always used to happen. You would think, you'd be like making eyes, like the sexy woman.
Oh no, it's the mum.
It's the mum.
Wait, we thought they were.
Anyway. We've already thought that. Treading over like the same crowd. But that's when things get a bit weird. Like I've written down in my notes here, Johnny dressed like a pirate. He's definitely dressed like a pirate at this party.
Yeah, he looked ridiculous. I also wrote everyone is so horny at this table because everyone was like, we haven't even got to the Seinfeld boss boyfriend.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So the twist,
the twist of the movie is the mum nan. The mum nan's boyfriend is played by Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird to hear him without his distinct
posh
voice. Yeah.
English, not English, but like really over the top posh voice.
Yeah, like in this, he's kind of like got that weird Cajun French accent, like everyone's putting on and not nailing.
I swear he kind of tries to say something a bit clever and a bit like profound, but it just goes over the party's head. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Something like I can't really remember. Like I can't remember. Oh, he's in it twice.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what he says or does. He's just there. All I was thinking was like, okay, so Nicolas Cage is definitely not banging the mum nan.
And Zandalee like kind of storms out of the room because she's pissed off that I don't know why she's pissed off, but she's pissed off that Johnny's brought a date to the party.
Yeah,
and it's like
classic.
Yeah, it's that thing. It's like pot kettle black. Like she's pissed off.
I'm the only one who can bang you.
Yeah, exactly. She's pissed off that her husband's childhood friend who she's fucking has bought a date. Like, he might, like, I don't know, I'm not trying to justify his reasonings, but, like, it's kind of like he's got to show face that he's not, like...
I was surprised that he managed to find someone so quickly.
Well, yeah.
It seemed like they went from the bar to the dinner table very quickly, and he had a date.
I don't know, I reckon, like, she seemed pretty, like, she's pretty ropey, like...
Yeah.
But, like, things get pretty fucking fiery because Johnny goes to, like, confront her and like
Oh yeah.
help with the dishes and says like he's real, like he keeps just pressing up on her and he says, "Oh, have you got anything written down for me?"
I've got the horrible thing written down.
What is that?
Can we even say it on air?
Yeah, definitely.
He says something like, "I'm not a coon ass,"
Yeah,
which
like,
I guess is...
I'm not sure
what
if it's
you think-
racist or like...
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's like... Because like... It's to do with like raccoons or something
Yeah.
like that. I know like there's the classic joke in Forrest Gump, like they think they're talking about racists, like...
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, and he's like, oh, when there was raccoons on the like, or when there was coons on the porch, my mum would chase them with with a broom or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping it's to do with
I guess so, because it's like the
90s. Yeah.
Wasn't a lot of there was a lot of white people in this movie, but no, whatever.
Oh yeah, there was one. Well, like
One
go
black guy
back to
who's a bartender
with like the funkiest dress sense I've ever seen. Like he was in like always in like cut off denim, like
Yeah, with,
tasseled
like, spikes
jackets.
a little bit.
Yeah.
He had like a weird black eye as well, I think,
Yeah, he had this kind of weird like growth on his eyebrow, like
which didn't look real. Like, it just was like, let's just put that on him.
He was like that. I feel like the actor was like, do you know what would really make my character pop? Like, like I kind of want this. I feel like he'd have this growth. Like, and the director was like, yeah, like
Okay.
let's go with it.
This
Like,
okay? Like, sticks on his forehead. But yeah, it leads to something as well, because they like when they're like getting a bit intimate, they like saying they like dirty talking basically.
Yeah.
And then he so in my notes I've read coon ass times 2 plus coon ass prick plus inside of you, and then they have loud sex next door.
Oh yeah, no. He says like, you want my like coon ass prick inside of you. Which, like, and then he's like, would you do it with your husband in the next room? And then like, it's the classic. She kind of like goes down out of camera view.
It was ridiculous.
And like, like so much of this made me laugh because someone like calls his
Really
name.
cliche, yeah.
They're like Johnny, and he's like, I'll be in a minute.
Yeah. I'm just washing the dishes.
And then it like cuts to like
Really loud sex.
them, banging on a tumble dryer, and like
So loud.
and then it's just Terry's face, like he's kind of
clicks,
Like, I think it clicked, or he is just literally like, I can't even explain.
They're
the
not
face.
washing up.
Yeah.
Maybe I should check it out. No, I'll just sit here shocked.
Yeah, I'd like. He just seems pissed off again. We get Zandalee running.
Also, before we go, she runs a lot.
Yeah, she does.
Runs a lot braless.
Yep.
There's sport. Like, I was thinking this for a while. It's like people can like do whatever they want, like not wear a bra or whatever. But surely that hurts. There's sports bars for a reason, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I kind of wish like maybe we like two grown men talking about like, I feel like we're on treacherous grounds here. Like,
I don't know, but I feel like again for like the sexy.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
definitely,
feel
yeah.
like. I feel like,
Well,
it would hurt to run without a bra. That's what I'm saying. I'm not getting too crazy.
A lot of the stuff she like dresses in though, like she's like an attractive lady, but like dresses terribly.
Yeah.
Like,
It's always
like,
just something a bit
loose,
and then you can see a little bit of nipple.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
like, not saying like I like my women in like real tight clothing, but it's not. It's like it's ill-fitted.
She wears like rags.
Yeah,
quite a lot.
Yeah.
Everything is not. Yeah, like no, I'm saying like she's always running in very inappropriate running gear. Like nothing's keeping anything in place.
It's
and
grey, it's sweaty.
Yeah, like it looks like it's purely for like sexual
arousal. Yeah. Of 26-year-old.
It was just because I was working out through my notes and through the whole movie because she runs a lot, and I was like, that's not comfortable, right? I can't be comfortable running like that.
Yeah, she's running. Terry's talking to Mum Nan about something.
Mum Nan.
Oh, about her boyfriend and kind of like how he's like, all like he feels a bit suspicious that like he used to live near them and now lives near them again. Like, has something been going on? Like this? Yeah, this is a point where I thought it's his nan, it's not his mum, because I feel like
I thought it was his mum.
I thought he would have been a bit more cut up about it though, considering he's so cut up about his dad.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Again,
I don't know,
it's not explained. Like
no one cried in this film.
Yeah,
there was no real emotion.
There was
like,
no real like.
There was just a lot of sexual frustration, and that was it.
Yeah, it needed a lot more like big emotion for it to like. He should have got real pissed off if it was his mum. Like that's
That again, this is where I'm going very deep with the movie. It's like, it's kind of like he's just seeing it again. Like he's talking about like, oh, I saw this guy in my life loads of times, and like when I was at school, that's kind of why. So like when he was at school, he'd see his mum and his dad, and then their friend who she's sleeping with now. And that's where I was like, yeah, it's just happening again, and that's why he's like going a bit and like getting a bit crazy about it.
Yeah, and then whilst Zandalee is running, fucking again, how does he always know?
But also, just before she runs into traffic again.
Yeah. And then like, who's there to like kind of just pull her out of nowhere into an alley? Fucking Johnny again, and like, does he? Yeah, he rubs between her legs. Like he goes straight for it every time. Like he's not a subtle guy. Like I don't. Yeah, and then like you go back to Terry, and he kind of like gets out of the shower and like doesn't like realizes that Zandalee is not home, and like just
like, how long was that shower?
Yeah, smells her clothes whilst like. Again, like, not that my favourite scenes in this are when they have sex, but this draws me to a scene where, like, Johnny and Zandalee...
it's ridiculous.
She's like... Oh, no, he's prompting this time. He's like, say my name, like, say it.
So many names in this film.
Yeah, and she's like... She's all of a sudden, like, not into it. She's like, oh, I can't do this. Like, she's like, oh, like... I've got into
got a bit of a conscience again,
and he's just so pushy. She's like, I'm not what you want me to be, and he's just like, no, you are. She's like, no, I'm not. He's like, no, I'm telling you, you are. And then he pops to the kitchen, and he grabs some like
gets the olive oil, doesn't he? Yeah, shit.
Yeah, he comes over, like, just pours it on her body, and I was like, cool.
Like, okay, fine.
Yeah, like, a massage, like, why spend money on, like, massage oils, it's like, it's all the same
You're
thing.
Nice.
Yeah,
exactly. Just use the olive oil.
And then he mixes olive oil with cocaine.
Just like classic, but like that was more of when I saw the like mirror and cocaine, I was like, oh, that's why he's having sex so much. Like, I was like, it kind of like made more sense now. Like, oh, he's just always doing cocaine. That's why he's so horny.
But like, she's like, oh no, I don't want to do any cocaine. Like, I don't want to do any drugs. He's like, no, I don't expect you to. He like, mixes some cocaine and oil, and I don't know how I'm going. I don't know how I'm going to say this, guys.
Do you want me to say it? Because you
can
don't have
say
to do it. I don't have to do another podcast again. He puts it on his fingers with the oil and slips it into her vagina. as if to like putting a drug in a dog or something.
Yeah, I've literally written down oily coke fingers.
I think I'm sure on my notes. Olive oil, cocaine, oil finger. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like she then like after that like fucking triumphant ordeal comes home to see that like it looks like Terry's been writing, because she kind of finds up some scrumpled paper, which like
I thought that's like was gonna turn her on a little bit more, like because nothing to do with the sex, but like maybe this is where the story goes. Like he's a tortured artist and he's finally like found a way to write again, because earlier it seemed like he had a bit of a writer's block.
Yeah,
now he's like, and then I thought that's where the story's gonna go, but no,
it goes somewhere.
I had big dreams for this film.
Yeah, and she just like, this is where I wrote my notes. She dresses terribly. Like this, I think this was the point where I was like, her dress sense is crap.
So we're just hanging off or something.
Yeah, and like then we get like the next day.
Considering what a job is.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a bit more like, do you know what I mean? Like a bit more tailored.
Yeah.
You see I'm not sure if this film has like a weird like anti-drugs message, because the next day she has like
she looks like death.
Well, no, she catches two like it's almost like the guilt has like set in her, and like she sees two guys like dealing drugs outside the shop, and is like, get out of here. And then old Mr. Memento comes out with like a riding crop, starts whipping.
Who always looks a lot more better dressed than her.
Yeah, definitely. He's like always like dressed up to the nines. Like, looks like he's gonna have a night out on the town. And then she said she's gonna go to lunch. Like, I'm doing air quotes there. He sees straight through it. He's like, well, like, says something real sassy, like, girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. I don't know what that accent was, but something along those lines. She's not going for lunch. She goes to Johnny's, like, weird warehouse apartment and sees, she's kind of just snooping about, and I thought she was looking for more drugs. Like,
it's like, I guess it's because we were just constantly just trying to figure out where this film was going.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no, she's addicted to cocaine now because of the thing what happened. No, she's just snooping.
Yeah, and the answer machine goes, and it's Remy.
Yeah,
Remy. It's Remy, and she's like going like, "Where are you? Like, let's hang." Her voice.
She's really melodramatic as well. She's like, "I'm yearning for you."
Her voice reminded me of like Janice from Friends, like that kind of like real whiny, like just I don't know, like.
But that's why it was confusing. That's why when she was hearing that voicemail, she was getting angry about it. But it just sounded like just another.
It sounded like he had been kind of been ignoring her calls.
Yeah. But she was getting pissed off about it.
Yeah, and like takes revenge by like kicking over something and throwing a pot of red paint over his bed.
Godfather.
What the god?
Horse and bed?
Yeah, possibly.
Reference to that?
Maybe. Maybe Nick.
I'm so deep in this film right now.
Then we get like Terry clearing out his office, and he kind of gets Johnny in for a chat. And I thought shit was going to go down. I thought it was going to be like, you've been fucking my wife. Like, I'm not happy. But I felt like it was like subtly said in a way, like.
I feel like, spoiler alert, I didn't know whether he knew the entire film until like the end.
But yeah, this is another great line where like Johnny says to him like he's eating a peach, and he's just like, "Want to share my peach?" Like,
yeah, that was. I think I wrote that down as well.
Yeah, I thought like maybe Terry suspected something, but like because he's like, "Oh, you've been taking really long lunches. Have you got a mistress?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not married. I can't have a mistress." Like, and I thought at that moment, like, you're a fucking poet. Like, you're supposed to be good with words. Like, you should know that he's not married. He's not gonna have. Yeah, he can't have a mistress. You moron. Yeah, and then what do we get?
Also, I was thinking about the back to the voicemail in my notes. You know, like where people get pretty caught up in like double texting and stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't people not think about like double voicemailing? Because she just kept voicemailing over and over. Surely people were like, "No, I'm not gonna."
Yeah, he must. Like, if he hears the first one, he might get back to me. Like,
Yeah.
leave it a day. Like, come on.
Like, it was just over and over again.
I felt like there's a deleted scene where she just turned up. That is just her at the door, like ringing the buzzer. Yeah. Then we get like that evening, like again a scene that's just dropped in out of nowhere. Just doesn't really explain much about the character of Terry on the tram just singing.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
Badly. Like it's like
I don't know whether it's because we're talking about David Lynch, but then again, like before we recorded, but then again I was like, this feels like a David Lynch thing because there's only one sort of emotion coming from one human being who's singing loudly on his tram, and just everyone's just looking at him. No one's reacting to it. Everyone's just looking at him like just staring him in the face. Nothing was really going on.
And then we get like another mental scene of Zandalee at church, and Johnny turns up, and she's like this is the first moment where it's like she's like, how do you know where I am? And I was like, finally, someone has asked the fucking question I've been asking the whole film. Like, how does everyone know where everyone is? And he's like, his response is just like, sounds creepy as fuck. Says, I know everything about you.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
They don't.
Yeah. But like, he starts pressing on her and like, what is it he says? He says, I want to like share something. Like, he's like, you should be with me, like, and she's like, no, it will hurt Terry, like, too bad. He's like, I've got to tell you something. He's like, people die, and people die, like, everybody dies. It's like, what, like that?
Look, you missed the end. He says, people die, and that's why you should leave him. He says that one sentence. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like a weird cod philosophy. Like, it's fucking...
We'll say it on Tinder.
It's not profound as he thinks it is. And, like, he does this weird, like... I think he thinks it's like a kind of weird romantic gesture. And, like, he starts swearing and, like, kind of... going mental in the church, and like she's like, no, you can't do this, like, and then like, it kind of got real weird for me because he kind of like bundles her into the confession booth.
Yeah, I was like just taken away. I just thought that it was just the film doing what the film had been doing for a few scenes. Like, it just felt like another... In my head, I thought it was another sex scene.
Yeah, but then, like, it seemed like
sinister music.
Sinister music. She did not look into it at all. And, like, those of you who've listened to episodes before, like, this is the third film where there has been a sex scene or potentially a rape scene involving Nicolas Cage. Like, it's like... Come on, man, that's not what you want to get typecast for. Like, stay away from that, please, for the love of God. Like,
without getting, like, it's probably just, without getting too heavy, it's just probably what, like a rape culture, like, everything was a bit too light on that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely,
Everyone was, it's like, oh, that was just, oh no, it's a sex scene, she doesn't want to have it. Yeah, without getting too deep into it.
Yeah, like, it's kind of like... It's kind of weird to look at these films from, like, 2017 eyes.
Yeah.
Like, fucking times were different. Like,
just
things
so
were different.
And it also was brushed off so easily.
Yeah, definitely. Like, but, like, he's in the street, like, trying to... He's like, I freed you, like... And she's, like, not interested. She, like, smacks him and runs away. And she, like, goes back to the house, and like Terry's on the balcony, sees her, she sees him, and then just like runs away. Like, and I wrote down in my notes here, like, it just like, because she's walking through the street and everyone's like creeping her out. It reminded me of Home Alone 2 when like he's kind of like walking through the city and like he's the kind of like the prostitutes, like,
oh yeah, like it's like evil town.
Yeah. Like everything's like looming in or something, and like, you know, like, oh, it's terrible out there. It's not too much better in here, kid. Like, it kind of had that vibe to it. But, like, she literally just, after that, goes home. Like, it was like, I don't know. I thought maybe something might have happened when she was out, that she was like, nah, fuck this. It was just like, I don't know, she kind of seemed a bit spun out and then was like, fuck this, I'm just going to go home. Like, and then, like, the gran kind of, like, delivers a few, like, yeah, the mum nan.
Mum nan. Do you
Like-
mind if we go to a commercial break?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right, so James is back from emptying his bladder, because that's why we need to go to a little break. But back to where we were. Yeah, so the mum nan is playing
Scrabble with the boyfriend from Seinfeld, and it's all in French. They're just like, I was like, they're not saying. Well, I think it's French anyway, but
yeah, definitely. And she's like she kind of like delivers a few pearls of wisdom of like,
I can't remember what she
it's
says.
kind of like, do what you need to do, like, kind of thing. Like, if you're not happy, like,
I just wrote has wisdom and a lot of white wine.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote.
Well, like, she's kind of like, there's a lot of good to come from a marriage and stuff like that. Like, the bad things will only look worse if you like look at them, and it's also with the better, like the same will happen with the better times. Like, he's your husband, go talk to him. So she decides to go talk to him, and he's like the ultimate like emo moment like ever. Like, he's just sat in the dark but listening to like some terrible
Terrible music, but when she turns off, I swear it's still on. I swear you can still hear it.
Yeah, he's like listening to, I don't know, it's like not even, I thought at first it was kind of like Django Reinhardt kind of like gypsy jazz stuff, but it's just worse. It's just like someone tinkering around on an acoustic guitar. Like, it sounded awful. Yeah, and he's kind of like, again, he starts just talking in fucking riddles. Like, I kind of didn't
It
follow
went
the
back
scene.
to like classic Terry.
Yeah, I just like literally written down in my notes, he talks bullshit. Like, and then he starts reciting like, oh yeah, the paintings in the back. You like,
You can just see it. Like, it's ridiculous. It blew my mind.
And then he recites like a really shit poem as well. Like, I don't know, like,
I haven't written anything about this bit in my notes.
don't really remember it, just because it was like, it was awful, and like she's kind of like, they're kind of hashing out like,
Oh, they want to go away, don't they?
yeah, she says like, but she says to him like, we don't know how to talk, we don't even know how to fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, she says like, oh, maybe we should go away for a while, like, because running away from your problems is definitely the way to sort them.
I feel like if we knew they were a bit more married, then I would have been more like into them staying together.
Yeah.
But it's just they didn't seem married. They hate each other from the beginning.
Yeah.
So when they got to like running away from the problems, it was like, whatever, you're still going to be fucked, because
there was no equilibrium to go back to. Like, there was nothing set up at the beginning. Like,
never seemed happy.
no, she seemed happy, just like dancing around naked. And,
Only time he seemed happy, he just fucked off to a fucking Fez party.
yeah, and maybe he was only happy because he knew there was whipped cream titties on the other side of that party. Like, yeah, and they then you see like Johnny just like moodily in his warehouse, just kind of hanging around, and then he bumps into the main character. Like, I just like it. Just again, some of the casting in this is mental. Like, this is definitely post.
Oh yeah, I still haven't. Yeah,
he bumps into the actor is Zach Galligan, I believe it is, who plays what's his character's name in the
I can't remember the main.
Yeah, but he's the main
character,
guy
yeah.
in the Gremlins, and like he's kind of
1 and 2. Is 2 out yet in this era?
I don't think
movie?
2. No, 2 was quite like there was quite a big gap, but like yeah. He is like it doesn't matter what his name is, but like
He's quite famous.
yeah, he bumps into him, and then like they kind of discuss something about art or some bullshit like that. And
But he's doing well. Like it sounded like Nicolas
He's a
Cage.
big-
Johnny was like, "Oh, see," but when he ends the conversation, that's when it sounds like he's doing well. They have this little chat, and then it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm making all this money. Bye." Walks off.
And then Johnny walks into a bar and sees Terry and just like says like,
"You go written down.
You're a skunk as well." Doesn't he? So that's what he just walks in like, "You skunk. You're drunk as a skunk."
Yeah.
Like, and then they kind of talk about like the fact that Terry's going to be like leaving town, like, and he's like, "Oh, you're going to go to like the place we used to hang out as kids, like on the bayou?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to." And
But I thought they moved to New Orleans.
yeah, I have no idea.
It was like, because where they went is in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Well, surely?
yeah.
It was like
definitely.
swampy and like...
Yeah. But like, I've written down in my notes as well here that like one of the moments like this was great was like kind of Terry like did some like he chatted shit, like kind of rambled on for a bit, did a shot and then threw his glass down the bar, and like possibly some of the best like acting in the film is the just two extras who are kind of like looking over like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's this like fucking nutter, like
This mustache nutter.
yeah, and then it just cuts to like this is when the film gets fucking weird. Like,
It's when I kind of was just like,
really,
I'm really uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and just like, oh, I kind of wanted this film to be stupid and like,
Yeah.
not be a bit like depressed when it was over. And I was like, okay, this is taking a bad turn.
yeah, because Terry and Zandalee like are on the bayou. They're kind of like zipping around on a boat, but they don't.
Oh, they're fishing just before though.
Oh no, they're on the boat.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and then they're on the boat.
Well,
yeah,
nice.
and then he starts fishing. She's laying there
Naked again, but like with clothes where it only shows the
It's like
outside of her, and it's just
it's like a really
the middle. It just shows the boobs and the bush again.
Yeah, it's like a really long, like, cardigan.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
sleeveless cardigan, yeah. And, like, yeah, then they, like, they have sex, and, like...
Really boring looking sex considering what we've had to watch for, like, an hour. Like, I was like... even, like, I was like...
But she says something really creepy in his ear as well. She's like, see... we do know each other's bodies, or something like that. It just made me feel like, I don't... Like, yeah...
Again, I was very caged in. I was like... she doesn't like this. I was like,
I know her.
I've seen her have sex before. She's not into this slow, fucking shit.
Missionary, come on.
Yeah,
she's
she-
had all sorts of Johnny.
Have you not got olive oil and cocaine?
That's what she's into. She's had a higher class of sex.
Oh my god.
And then, like, the next day, Terry goes into the shop, like, kind of like, seems to know everyone, having a good old chat, talking about catfish.
Yeah, again.
And, like, the man who knows where everyone is sat there singing.
Batman.
He's just like, he like, kind of like interjects of like, oh, what you want to do with catfish is this, like, just... And then, like, he's, like, really pleased to see him, right? Or he seems really pleased to see him. He's
In
like,
my head now, I feel like it might have been a...
a ruse.
I feel like the whole thing might have been a ruse.
Yeah. Well, he's like...
It's like Johnny just turns up every fucking place my wife is. What if I just go fucking far away? Like, yeah.
And, he kind of says, I wondered when you were going to turn up. Like, this is great. They kind of go out and, like, if it wasn't clear to Terry already, like, Zandalee's reaction to Johnny being there might as well have just gone like, like, I'm fucking him. Like, it's just like, it was ridiculous. Like, yeah, I don't like. How did you feel about that moment? Like, for me, it was like her reaction was just like looking down, like
the whole time. From him seeing in the bar scene, I was just like, I can't tell whether we're meant to know that he knows or whether it's like a bad film and we just Like
The actor, yeah.
It's a bad film, but we're meant to know that he knows. Or like, I'm just so fucking confused about the acting.
And then it takes a turn for the really weird because,
Oh yeah,
like, Johnny and Terry just start dancing, like, I kind of zoned out slightly.
are they dancing to the music at the bar, or is it just music in the background of the film? That's what
That's what I didn't know. Yeah, I've written that down. Like, I couldn't tell if it was like, is there music playing? Is it like in the film, or is it like on top of the film?
Yeah, it's like a bit like it happens in Twin Peaks a few times. You're like, are they actually dancing in a jukebox, or is it just happening in the entire?
Yeah. Like, I don't think this film is as clever and surreal as Twin Peaks. I think this is just a bad film, James.
I don't know. I was very sucked in. I still feel like there's a few metaphors to explain.
Yeah, and I thought, like, is this going to lead to them? Like, things are said, like, kind of thing. And I thought, is he kind of... He knows that they have, like, slept together, but he's kind of into it, and they're going to kind of form some weird polyamorous, like... weird, like threesome, like, I don't know. I didn't know what was going to happen. Like,
in my head, like, during this point, I was still thinking that it was going to finish on a happy ending. Like, for some reason, I was just like, I reckon it's all going to work out. Like, it doesn't matter who's fucking who. They're all going to have a good time.
And then Terry just turns really cold with Zandalee, doesn't he? Like, he's like, who wants a beer? And she says, like, oh, I'll have one. He's like, come over and get it then. Like, he's like, well, like on a dime, just flips to being an arsehole. And like Johnny's like, I'll get you one. And then, like, I'm not sure if it was supposed to be like subtle, but like literally like, come on, come back with me. I'll take you. Like, might as well have just said to Terry, like, I'm fucking your wife. Like,
no, like, who the fuck is anyone in this movie kidding? Like, there's no sense of boundaries, or like, there's no one going to another room. Everyone's doing it in front of everyone.
It kind of always felt like a play. Like, they're not supposed to.
They've already got one set.
Yeah.
Like, it's only happening in this place.
But like, what I don't get is like something you need to like understand it. Like, is why did he trust him in the first place? Did he not look at Johnny and
also,
go like?
We're saying there was never a good marriage. There was also never a good friendship in this movie.
Yeah, they were never like best buds.
He just turned up and was like, I'm going to paint you.
They always seemed quite, always seemed quite frosty with each other. And then, things get, they get so weird. Terry pulls a gun. Starts like pointing it at them, then just kind of like shoots into midair. And he's like, does he like motion them to get on the boat? Or they're just all of a sudden... they're on the boat.
No, at one point he looks like he's going to shoot them, and then he just turns around and shoots nothing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I think that's when I just wrote, is it good that the movie had, like, what did I write, sorry. Is it good that I can't tell if he knows or not? And then suddenly he pulled the gun out, and I was like, okay, he knows, fuck. Like, I'm stupid. But then he turns around and just shoots the air, and I was like... I just don't know anymore. Like, this is confusing the shit out of me.
And then, he has lost the plot. They're on the boat all of a sudden. Like, that's what I mean. There's no, like, him saying, like, get on the fucking boat or anything.
Yeah.
Like, they just get on the boat, and he is, like, spouting more shit than he has done before. He's just kind of like, I don't know, he's going off on one.
He's
like,
talking about the old place.
Yeah, and, like, it's like Johnny's like, I'm pretty sure it's over there. He's like, no, it's over here. And like,
also, still, we don't know what the old place is.
Yeah,
so like, we're like, okay, we're just along for the fucking shit ride.
And then like he's like, Johnny's like, I'll take over, and like drives like a fucking madman. But like he's been egged on by Terry. He's like, drive faster. Like, I don't. This kind of reminded me of like Gene Wilder, and like it kind of reminded me of that scene in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's like the rowers keep on rowing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a manic like look in everyone's eyes.
I always thought that guy who's playing Terry looks like him. Is it Terry?
Yeah.
He looks like Gene Wilder.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There was like a manic thing in his eyes, and he was like going like, go faster, go faster. Yeah. Judge Reinhold, like, took inspiration from Willy Wonka. And then, like, Terry shoots again. Like, he just shoots into air. And then Johnny whips the boat round. And that's it. Terry's gone. And just when you think things couldn't get any weirder, they just fucking go and do get weirder. Yeah.
They have a chat.
Well, no, like, Zandalee and, Zandalee
They
and Johnny.
just have Johnny's like, I can take you back, but he's just, the fucking Terry is just drowning.
Yeah. And then he just, like, out of nowhere just punches her as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he smacks her and she's like, I think, like, her conscience is getting the best of her. She's like, even though I fucked him over, like, I do want to be with Terry. And, like, jumps in the water, tries to get him, like, not even, like, 10 seconds.
The water looks so shallow.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Johnny's in after them as well. Like, he saves Zandalee, like, pulls her away.
Is that when he punches her?
No. And then he, like, goes for Terry. We had to rewind this bit.
Oh, yeah, because we had no idea what actually happened.
Yeah. Because, like, Terry comes out of the water. Like, I thought he might have been dead by this point because he'd been in the water for like.
And the way it showed that he was drowning, it was like a perfect shot of his like face, like silhouette, and he just slowly went down. It was so like okay, like, it was so like cliche. It's ridiculous.
And he like Terry comes out of the water, bites Johnny on the neck.
Where like I swear, like there must have been like some weird bit of like oval makeup because it just slid off his like neck,
and then like slips back into the water, and
I've written horrible ending.
And then I thought like, oh, that's it, that's the film. No, it keeps going. You get like a shot of a graveyard. Zandalee's there, so you guess Terry must be dead. Terry. And again, Steve Buscemi turns up.
The grass looks so clean. Like, I remember the grave just looking like this. Looks like the nicest grave.
Well, it must have been quite fresh, I guess.
Yeah, it looks really fresh.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi turns up asking for money. Like, she offers him food and like kind of again.
He says he's a vegetarian. Can't remember what she offered him.
Yeah, it was like chicken and grits or something like that.
I was like, that's cool.
But like again, another weird like character thing that didn't need to be there.
It's like he can just be a garbage man. It doesn't need to be broke.
Like, he seems to like, I don't know. It's like they know each other.
It's
as
like
well.
It feels like the Silent Bob in a Kevin Smith movie. Like he's just there to give the little bit of advice at the end of the film.
Well, I thought maybe he was there to be like a his character would have like. Again, there might be a cut out there where his character like kind of pops up more and more and is kind of like the voice almost to the audience. Of
He's
what
just
the
the
fuck
sandwich of the movie.
Yeah, and then you get her like with her face rubbed up against the curtain saying like in the garden saying I'm fine. And like you can kind of see that they're both like losing their shit. Like, Johnny's in his warehouse, like the phone rings. Like answer phone, like I think it's someone again asking him about something.
I thought it sounded like music playing down the phone. I thought it was like, oh, did people get those sort of calls like back then? Like it sounded really weird.
And he just rips the phone off the wall. I just written down like mum, nan, weird ants. Like she's doing some weird thing with some ants.
The metaphor, like she like crushes the ant and it says something about selling drugs or something.
Yeah, it's peculiar. Like and then we get more scenes of like Johnny boozing in the bar, like, and then like he's showing like Mr. Gremlin around his like art studio, like these are the paintings I've painted, like.
And he says, "I didn't use drugs."
Yeah,
like just showing off. But we've seen clips of him snorting cocaine and just painting pictures, but like, is that what happened in the early 90s? Like, I did this art, but
I didn't use drugs.
It's amazing. Yeah, I didn't use drugs though.
Like that was supposed to give extra credit. Well done, man. Like, yeah, and then like he kind of like flies off the handle. Like he's like, I'll be up there with Picasso. He's like goes mental, and then like the guy's kind of like, oh well, I guess I'm gonna leave then. And he's like, okay, cheers, take it easy, man.
Yeah, just really just takes the tone down straight away.
Yeah, this was another moment where it kind of reminded me of like The Room.
Yeah.
And that kind of weird, like, I don't know, it's...
Everyone's been melodramatic and then suddenly just goes down to just like a normal conversation.
Yeah. And it's just like nuts. Like, and then he like again, this reminded me of The Room as well. He like wrecks his studio, and it just kind of reminded me of like the moment in The Room where he throws the TV out of the window.
Yeah.
Like, this just is a Nicolas Cage moment where it's like they just said, they might as well have said to him like, do you, man? Like, he wrecks the place and then covers himself in black paint.
Yeah,
like,
it's ridiculous. Just pours like paint all over him and just keeps saying "black me out," which is an Against Me song, and I want to tweet Laura Jane Grace to ask if that's where she got the lyrics from, because I've never heard that like phrase used before. And I need to find. I like straight away. I like wrote that down. I was like, I need to find this out.
Amazing. And then, like, Zandalee has, like, a breakdown outside of the church, kind of just, like, goes, like, I don't know, like, moans, and then, like, goes back to her, like, again...
She looks like Walking Dead, like,
Yeah.
she looks so bad at this point.
Doesn't really mean anything. She goes back to her apartment. Who's there? Johnny, as always, like... It's
The
like
door's open.
yeah, give it a break. She mentions that, like, oh, you wanted Terry dead, and like he's kind of like, oh, maybe, like, they're both like kind of blaming each other. He's like, whenever I cook toast, I smell your skin. Another
ridiculous.
weird line. She like loses her shit, starts smacking him. And I just wrote, I bet he's horny. I bet he's turned on. Like, that's definitely what he's into. And then the next scene, they're kissing, like, they're going at it. And then, she
says, Terry.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure whether she was calling him Terry.
It made me think, because where I got confused before the paint scene, I thought in my head, I must have not been paying attention. I thought Johnny was making her call him Terry. So I was like, oh, I was just doing the thing again. And then, oh no, she got a bit pissed off about it.
Yeah, she kind of like jumps up, puts on like Terry's coat, leaves the apartment. Johnny follows. Kind of like, she runs for about 5 seconds, then like walks again. He is literally always like 5 meters away from her, like kind of like, it's weird. He definitely could have caught up with her, like, that's what I'm saying. And then out of nowhere, like, again, this is something was this like brought up at all in the film, like the drug dealer?
Like, again, that's earlier I said this is why I think I might like this film. It came up at the beginning.
The
very
subtly.
voicemail, and then it comes at the end. And then
I think like a couple of the things in the
if
bar,
it was played backwards like Memento, it might have been a good film.
like in the bar scene as well, like with the priest, there's like the guy behind the bar is like hands him something, he hands over some money. Yeah, but like I don't think it was like enough of a storyline.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Was,
like if it was backwards, I'd been like, wow, that was such a clever film.
This drug dealer's kind of trying to cut him off, and then it's like, Johnny! Calls him out, and then, like, pulls a gun, and Zandalee dives in front of the bullet. And, like, do you remember what the drug dealer says? He says something. It's like, sounding like muffled to me, like... It's like something like, you got to pay your debts or something.
I wrote
like
something else down. I didn't write that down. But, I wrote, she's dead. She also wanted to die.
Yeah, she's dead, and then he like picks her up miraculously as well, right outside the fucking church.
Yeah, there's only 4 like places in this movie.
Yeah, well, the thing is though, like, I was left with what is that significance of that? Like, it didn't really like have any impression on me. Like, he kind of walks off with her, like, into the camera, like, pans up, and that's it. Like, roll fucking credits, like terrible music.
I guess it... Yeah, I can't think of a conclusion for this movie right now.
Like, well, what did you like? Did you like this film, James?
I was so in.
Yeah?
It's true, I don't know. I feel like it was because I had no idea about this movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, where's this film going to go?
That's part of the fun of this film.
So I was like...
I was invested.
But also, the whole time through this movie, I was like, is this a really famous film? And I'm just so cut off from this sort of genre of movie that I just don't know.
Well, like, that's something, like, we will find out in a second.
The painting bit, I definitely think was spoofed.
Yeah?
Like, I think that was, like, spoofed in a film with Charlie Sheen in it.
Oh, what, Hot Shots?
Yeah, isn't that it?
Oh, maybe, yeah. That is, like, a kind of spoof film he's done, yeah.
Because I feel like I feel like I keep saying my mum, because this is definitely a film that would be on in the background as a kid and be like, this is weird, Mum. Why are you watching this? And like, I don't know where, still don't know whether it was a good film or a bad film.
Yeah, it's, well, like, again, I'm always invested in these films. Like, I'm always like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's the first film I've watched in a long time without looking at my phone as
well.
Yeah,
definitely. Like, I always find with these, like, we're probably giving films more attention than they deserve.
Yeah.
Like, but like, yeah. Anyway, you've heard what, like, me and James obviously, like, roughly think about this film. You've heard, yeah, all of our little critiques of it throughout it. Now it's time to see what the internet says about this. We'll check, like, whatever the free, like, scores are when we Google it. So that could be Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, IMDb, Roger Ebert, whatever. Yeah, cool. Right, so we're back, and here's time for the scores. Do me and James... Do we have the same opinions as those of the masses, or are we fucking don't know what the fuck we're talking about? Right, so IMDb. What do you reckon it's going to be?
I think like maybe like a 6.4 or something, or even something crazy like an 8.4 or something.
IMDb score is 4.4 out of 10. Like,
I like this. Fucking hell, I like this film, I think. Fuck.
And then Rotten Tomatoes. Do you think that's going to be in line with that, or
I don't know,
better, or
I don't know. I don't want to dig myself deeper. Actually, I'm just going to say, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, this is a critical, like, I don't know, bomb by the looks of it. I'm going to do something that, like, I'm going to see if there is any, let's see, what comments. Right. Here's a review from Rotten Tomatoes.
Cool.
Right.
Look forward to it.
Oh, it's pretty long, but here we go. There's a pretty good movie that spills by the dribs and drabs between fevered coupling in Zandalee, a New Orleans set erotic thriller with far more ethos than thrills. Zandalee Martin is married to Terry Martin, who has abandoned his
Terry
dream.
with an I or Y?
It's Terry with a THIERRY.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
Twist.
Thierry.
That's a twist.
I don't know, this review seems, yeah, it's pretty fucking long, so I'm not going to...
Read the last sentence.
The last sentence. Okay. It's, I don't know, this kind of seems like a... But as a softcore eroticism, it is better than average date movie for those hot video nights at home. Substance abuse, profanity, sexual situations, nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty much what this film has in abundance. Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my brains whether I enjoyed this or not.
I was very sucked in. But
Yeah.
I feel like I was like was the most excited I've ever been for a film in a long time.
Yeah? Oh, good. I'm glad I could,
I think it might have been just the sort of atmosphere and the way we're like, I have no idea about this movie. I don't know where it's going to go. Like, all I know is that it's called an erotic thriller, and you'd recently said that Nicolas Cage has a mustache in it. That was all I knew from that film. I was like, I'm looking forward to this movie.
Right, so, yeah, so that's it. That's it for this episode. James, like, if you, like, obviously you're in Murder House. Have you guys got anything coming up soon? Any gigs or anything like that?
Maybe we will have a new record coming out called South Doubt, which should be out soon. Google the name.
Nice.
But there's another band called Murder House, so make sure to look for the real Murder House on Facebook.
Like, what's, like, the best way to, like, get in contact with you guys? Like, you on Twitter or...
on Twitter, it's underscore Murder House, and then on Facebook it is at The Real Murder House.
And Instagram, you guys on there as well?
Instagram, Murder House Band, but you could just check me out on Sort of Lonely.
It's
Sorta
underscore
Lonely, but with a 3 as an E.
Okay, yeah, amazing. It's been a fucking pleasure having
Yeah,
you on.
it's amazing.
This one has been super fun, guys. I'm definitely going to have James back for like another episode at some point.
A spooky one.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah,
or an erotic one, like however you want.
I feel like we've bonded, like, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna passionately make love after this. I think. Like, I'm not sure if that James looks a bit.
Your girlfriend is out of town.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Whilst the cat's away, the rats will play.
The cage will play.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys haven't checked out James's podcast as well, it's Sort of Ghostly. It's up every Sunday and it's fucking hilarious. So, as always, I've been Petra Patsilivers.
I mean, James Hunt.
We've been caged in. You've been rad. Bye!